Welcome to the Ontario Mortgage and Real Estate Insights podcast, your go-to source for the latest developments, trends, and regulatory changes in the industry. I'm your host, Steve Hamoen, here to provide you with insights sourced from reputable news outlets to help you stay informed and make well-informed decisions.
This podcast is brought to you by Real Approved Inc., a trusted mortgage brokerage dedicated to helping Canadians achieve their home ownership dreams. Visit realapproved.ca to learn more about how our experienced team can assist you with your mortgage needs. Let's dive into today's episode.
All right, Janine, today we're starting with the Bank of Canada's latest decision to keep its key interest rate unchanged. This decision is expected to have a significant impact on the housing market across Canada. Sean Cathcart from the Canadian Real Estate Association has pointed out that the central bank's announcement suggests that interest rates might stay elevated for a while due to ongoing inflation pressures.
Yes, Steve. And this decision is really a double-edged sword for many prospective buyers who have been waiting for borrowing costs to come down. The bank's statement included survey data showing that consumers expect prices to keep rising and businesses are planning to raise their prices too. This all indicates that we might not see rate cuts in the near future, which could prolong the challenges many are facing in trying to buy a home.
That's right, Janine. Even though mortgage rates have dropped slightly from their previous highs, the economic uncertainty is still weighing heavily on buyer activity. The Globe and Mail reported that housing sales remain low in most regions, despite the more favorable borrowing rates compared to last year. It's a tough landscape for both buyers and sellers right now.
Exactly, Steve. But there's a glimmer of hope, according to Cathcart, who mentioned that consumer sentiment might improve in the coming months. Internal data from CREA suggests that May could mark the first month since November to see a month-over-month increase in national home sales. However, he does caution that any rebound we might see is likely to be limited in scale.
And for that rebound to be more substantial, Cathcart believes interest rates would need to fall by at least a full percentage point, a scenario that's not expected this year. Without such a drop, affordability challenges are likely to persist for many households looking into home ownership. It's a huge climb back to normal, as he put it.
Right, Steve. The Bank of Canada's cautious approach means that the housing market will likely only see gradual movement in the near term. Buyers may remain hesitant, and everyone from lenders to developers will be watching inflation indicators closely for any signs of when rate adjustments might finally happen.
Absolutely, Janine. The market's sensitivity to economic data and rate expectations is going to continue through the rest of the year. It's an uncertain time, but staying informed and prepared is key for anyone involved in the real estate market. Janine, it looks like we're finally seeing some movement in the Ontario housing market, with home prices starting to decline. It seems like the days of skyrocketing prices might be behind us, at least for now.
Yes, Steve, it's certainly a change from what we've seen over the past years. Peggy Hill, a real estate broker from the Barrie area, mentioned that this is the first real downturn she's seen in over 2 decades. It's a reminder that the housing market is indeed cyclical.
Indeed, Janine. Hill noted that some homes that were valued at $1 million last year are now selling for $800,000 to $900,000. This adjustment in pricing might be a relief for some buyers, but it's definitely a challenge for sellers who are used to setting higher asking prices.
Absolutely, Steve. It's tough for sellers who are now facing longer times on the market and having to adjust their expectations. But on the bright side, this could open up opportunities for first-time homebuyers who were previously priced out of the market.
That's a good point, Janine. First-time homebuyers are crucial to the market's ecosystem. Hill emphasized their importance, noting that they help move the market by purchasing homes that allow sellers to move up or downsize.
And there are several incentives for first-time buyers, like tax credits and longer amortization periods, which might encourage them to enter the market now. It's a challenging time, but also a time of potential for those looking to buy their first home.
However, it's not just first-time buyers who are affected. The condo market is seeing its own challenges. With higher interest rates, condos aren't as attractive as they once were, especially when compared to detached homes.
Right, Steve. Peggy Hill pointed out that many condos, especially in Toronto, were built with investors in mind, resulting in smaller units that aren't suitable for growing families. This mismatch in supply and demand is causing some investors to hold back.
And it's not just about the type of housing. Hill also mentioned that economic uncertainty, particularly in areas reliant on the automotive industry, is causing hesitation among potential buyers and sellers. Tariffs and layoffs are making people think twice about making big financial commitments.
It really is a complex situation, Steve. But for those ready to buy, it's a buyer's market, and they might find some good deals as sellers adjust to the new realities of the market.
Now, Janine, let's shift gears and talk about this recent TD survey that's been making waves. It highlights how Canadian homeowners, particularly those renewing their mortgages, are preparing for financial changes as their payments rise.
That's right, Steve. According to the survey, nearly half of those renewing their mortgages are expecting higher monthly payments, and more than half say it will impact their lifestyle. It's a reminder of how sensitive household budgets are to interest rate changes, even though borrowing costs have eased since last year.
Exactly, Janine. The Bank of Canada has lowered its policy rate by 225 basis points since June 2024, but rates are still significantly higher than the pandemic lows. This means many are facing a payment shock as they renew their mortgages at these higher rates.
It's a challenging situation, Steve. The survey found that 73% of renewers plan to cut back on day-to-day spending to keep up with their mortgage payments. It's a difficult adjustment for many, especially when they're also thinking about bigger financial decisions like renovations or even moving.
That's a crucial point, Janine. The survey indicates that 43% of those renewing are pausing renovations, while others are considering selling, downsizing, or even taking on roommates to manage costs. It's a real shift in how people are planning their finances.
And prospective buyers aren't immune either. More than half are cutting non-essential expenses to save for a home, and some are even dipping into their investments. Yet only a third have sought out homeownership advice, which could be a vital resource during these uncertain times.
It's interesting how Patrick Smith from TD mentioned that while many are leaning towards fixed-rate mortgages, there's no one-size-fits-all solution. It's all about finding a strategy that aligns with personal circumstances and financial goals.
Absolutely, Steve. And beyond the financial aspects, the emotional side of buying a home is significant too. The survey showed that nearly half of prospective buyers feel stressed or anxious about the process, but there's also excitement and hope involved.
It's a complex emotional journey, Janine. As we wrap up this segment, it's clear that staying informed and having a solid plan can help manage both the financial and emotional aspects of navigating the mortgage landscape.
Agreed, Steve. And that's why it's so important for homeowners and buyers to seek advice and support during these times. Now, let's wrap up today's episode.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of the Ontario Mortgage and Real Estate Insights podcast. We hope you found today's insights valuable as you navigate the world of mortgages and real estate.
Before you go, a quick reminder, Real Approved is here to make your mortgage journey smoother. Whether you're buying your first home or refinancing, their experienced team is ready to guide you with personalized support every step of the way. Visit realapproved.ca to get started and take the next step toward achieving your homeownership goals. Catch you next time, and stay informed with the latest industry insights.